Welcome to Jags Drive Time with Ashlyn Sullivan, John Oehser, and Brian Sexton. Jags Drive Time starts right now.
Welcome into Jaguars Drive Time, and it's Thursday morning. Ashlyn, Brian, and John here with you as we get ready to head to Los Angeles on Saturday, going on a shorter trip this season. A bunch of analytics that goes into that. But we are ready for a big game this Sunday against the Chargers, a very tough matchup for the Jaguars. Should we just get right into big things? We have lots to discuss.
Wait, you don't want to say hi, Brian?
Hi,
John.
Brian.
How
Hi,
are
John. See,
hi, Ash.
We have to do that, but I've also talked to you for the past 20 minutes. So I have to say hello again on the show.
That's a big bucket full.
It is. It really is. It's a lot to do.
Move on.
All right. Big thing one is commitment to the run. Kinda. Some people asking why didn't we see more of James Robinson and Travis Etienne in the big win over the Colts last week? Well, I think we're going to have to say get used to this, people. This is what this running game is going to look like. Maybe a little bit more. Right, Coach Peterson?
No, I thought honestly, I know the yard per carry or yard per attempt was, just over 2, but I thought it was effective enough though to open up some of the little play action stuff, some of the drop back passes, things of that nature. And quite honestly, you saw commitment to the run, right? And how our offensive line, took charge right there. But sometimes it's not so much the yards per carry as much as you just got to commit to it and stick to it, because it does open up some other things in your offense.
Big thing, too, is so what, now what? This is my new saying for life. I love this. Coach Peterson has been telling his team this since the start of training camp, and it is especially true this week as this team is moving on to week 3.
It's the so what, now what mentality, right? And, we don't really care. Wins are great in this league and they're hard to come by, and we like them, but again, it's my job to make sure that the goals and the ambitions and the things that we're trying to get done stay in front of the football team, and keep pushing the team to get better, challenge the team to get better, challenge the coaches to continue to get better and find ways to improve. And it's a long season. You hear that all the time, but it really is. And it's just one game, but we got a long way to go.
And big thing 3 is an interesting note. Trevor Lawrence is 0-9 on the road. The only quarterback to lose his first 9 road starts and win his 10th is Peyton Manning, who beat the Chargers week 3 in his second season. Kind of weird. NFL research pointed this out yesterday. Trevor Lawrence isn't worried about that note or also going to the West Coast to play a game.
That's not something we talked about necessarily. That's just the way Coach Peterson does it. And for me, I don't have a ton of experience with these games, so he's found success doing that, and I'm all for it. I think it makes sense. You don't really have enough time to adjust anyway, so you might as well keep your schedule the same. Go out there, do most of your prep here. Go out there, play the game, come home. So it makes sense to me. But no, we're looking forward to this matchup. Obviously, it's a great team that we get a chance to go play in LA, and we're excited for that opportunity.
And that is big things. A little eerie, right? Big thing 3, that the only quarterback to win his 10th game, and it's the Chargers, the same week as Trevor Lawrence playing the Chargers. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Well,
tackle this one because I wasn't sure what to make of it.
Yeah, I can tell you that when Peyton beat the Chargers in '99, they didn't have Justin Herbert. Well, they did, but he was 2. They
Mike
didn't
Williams,
have
Keenan Allen.
Yeah, so obviously everybody knows it doesn't really apply that much, but it is interesting. I make a good storyline. Trevor said the other day that really the only quarterback he followed growing up was Peyton Manning. So maybe Peyton, could pass on some advice on how to win that game against the Chargers in week 3 of his second season.
Play really well.
In 1999.
Don't turn the ball over.
Right.
Let's go back to the top, Ash. The commitment to the run, and we talked about it. Doug is not the guy who is going to say run-pass mix or balance like Tom Coughlin used to around here, or a lot of other coaches do. He's only worried about what he has to do to get the win. And he must have said this 3 or 4 times yesterday and Monday. Hey, it's going to change week to week. I only care about getting the win. It'll change. But the interesting part is this week, John, they've got to run the ball. You've got to be able to effectively run the ball to keep Bosa and Mack from just having a field day. Your tackles are playing okay, right? Juwan Taylor's really playing well, but he hasn't seen Joey Bosa yet. So you've got to be able to run the ball this week.
Well, they're not going to run the ball more than they did last week. They ran 37 times, and they threw 30. It's been almost diametrically opposed the first 2 weeks.
Right.
I think that's Doug's point, is whatever it takes. Now, they wouldn't have run as much last week, except in the fourth quarter they had the game in hand. Why wouldn't you? In the NFL these days, the run is important, but I covered Peyton Manning forever in the modern passing game, right? So that was really where I learned a lot about it. Peyton used to talk about all the time, it's not so much important to run as it's important in this day and age to make the other team believe you are going to run, to establish the threat of the run. So I definitely think Doug agrees with that. You saw that in the first drive of the third quarter against Washington. He came out, James Robinson once, James Robinson twice, 15 yards, play action to Christian Kirk. That's why it's important to run. The other team has to believe you want to do it.
Right. And this week it's important to make them believe you want to do it. Otherwise, Bosa and Mack create havoc.
Right. And Travis Etienne in the locker room yesterday said, of course, as a running back, I'd love to get all the carries in the world and I'd love to be the highlight of every game, but we also need to win a game, and it's obviously much more important to do that,
100%.
Even if Travis Etienne doesn't get the carries that everyone's asking for.
So I have two high school football players at home. I might have written "So what, now what" on the whiteboard in the kitchen.
Did you?
Yeah. I thought it was really cool. I had never heard it said just like that. And John said the other day, we've been covering this league a long time. I've never heard it put just like that, but I loved it. So what, now what? And I think that speaks so much to Doug, who is so focused on what he's doing today. It's hard to get him to think about Sunday right now. It's hard to get him to talk about Sunday right now because he's thinking about Thursday. I
different.
appreciate that.
It's subtly different than my motto, which is just, what?
Well, I thought, truthfully, when he said it yesterday, I thought that there was just this creation that he just came up with, and I was like, my gosh, that's awesome. Did he just think of that? And then I went and talked to our producers, and Trent, who shoots mic'd up for us in training camp, says, oh no, he's been saying that all of training camp.
Right.
And this is something that he's preached since August.
Well, and he probably heard it all those years ago when he was an undrafted rookie in Miami. I mean, it's so much of football is gin rummy, right? You pick up the cards off the discard pile. There's not a whole lot new, but it's new in Jacksonville, and I just spoke at the Ponte Vedra Rotary Club, so shout out to those folks in Ponte Vedra. And I used the "so what, now what" conversation, and everybody's eyes perked up. I mean, they're like, wow, I love that, which just goes to show you that sometimes something new just grabs people's attention. And I bet there will be other parents who will be writing that on the board.
Yeah.
Go prove it, right? I mean, you won last week. What are you going to do now? What are you going to do this week? And John, I think it's been interesting because I talked to Foye Oluokun in the locker room yesterday. The maturity level of a team that's coming off just an absolute beating of a division rival that, that's the forerunner in the AFC South. You might be feeling yourself, and you're getting on an airplane, you're feeling good. Quarterback played his best game. Your defense looks good. They're not focused on that. They're focused on what they've got in front of them, which is a Los Angeles Chargers team that, if everybody's healthy, and they're not, but if everyone's healthy, I think it's right there with Buffalo and Kansas City, maybe just slightly behind Buffalo and Kansas City as the very best in the AFC. So I like the maturity level. I like the atmosphere in the locker room. Now, I did notice there's something different in that locker room. There's a little confidence that we haven't seen in a while, and that's nice, but I don't think it's overconfident.
They did a nice job, and I know we'll move on. It's hard to do when you're rebuilding a team because you want to build your eventual core through the draft. But this team did a nice job in the offseason, if you think about it, of bringing in free agents who are not only leaders, but who could play. Because it doesn't matter if you can lead if you can't play. So you've got Brandon Sheriff, you've got Marvin Jones and Christian Kirk, you've got Evan Ingram. All these guys, and you don't really need it in the running back room that much. You do, but it's a running back room often is just young guys who can just play. So you can't have it a quarterback, really, because you want Trevor Lawrence to be the guy. Everywhere else on the team, they brought in veterans who can lead, who can get that message across, and they can play. So interestingly, nice job of roster construction in the offseason on that front.
It's almost like you have that leader or that veteran presence in every single position room now at the team. I'm sure that is not a coincidence. Foye
Oluokun, and I want to throw Foley Fatukasi because I know you went back and watched the tape. And these are you can't see it when you just watch it on TV. You got to go back and really get the end zone copy to see how dominant a guy Foley Fatukasi is. To watch him take on the center, shed the guard, and make the play. Now, he doesn't get the tackle. Trayvon Walker comes over the top and makes the tackle, but he made the play. Right? You talk about a guy who's a leader. Fatukasi is impressive.
Who's not going to get the credit for it always.
No, and now there are more services for people to go back and watch it. So if you got it, go watch the end zone copy on that one and just watch how he dominates it.
And that is big things. When we come back on Jaguars Drive Time, we go around the locker room on the Jaguars Digital Network.
You can step up to luxury now.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. Whatever you're driving, you can step up to luxury now. Plus, get our Fields amenities, which include complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes.
Make this your year to step up to luxury at Fields Cadillac, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, Land Rover, Jaguar, and Lexus. When it comes to the ultimate car buying experience, there's only one name that matters: Fields. And Fields matters because you matter. The Fields Auto Group, proud partners of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey Jags fans, Brian Sexton for Dreamfinders Homes. In a complex housing market, do decisions on the biggest purchase of your life stress you out? At Dreamfinders Homes, they can build the home of your dreams in one of their many communities in Northeast Florida. With a mortgage company in-house, they're here to assist you throughout the entire process. Choose from their wide range of single-family homes or townhomes from the 300,000s. Dreamfinders Homes specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. Call 904-590-2545 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Sudeth is on the 20, the 10. Yes, another successful move to a new home. I tell you, folks, I've never seen a team more prepared than the Sudeth crew. With a dominating lead in training, trust, and efficiency, it's no wonder why Sudeth is the official moving company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. For the past 100 years, Sudeth has provided local, long-distance, and international moving services in Jax. Call 904-638-7536 or visit sudeth.com/Jags.
Fields Auto Group Jacksonville. Step up to luxury. FieldsAuto.com. We are back, Jaguars Drive Time. It is Thursday. We have a big locker room period. Wednesday afternoons where you get everything we need to know coming up for this upcoming game. So let's go around the locker room, and a couple players echoing the same sentiment from head coach Doug Peterson of the "so what, now what" saying.
As a professional team and as us, we have to move forward. You know what I'm saying? We expect to win. Like I said, man, I think this team is built to win, so we expect to win. So we have to learn how to win and then learn how to move forward to get another one, and another one, and fight adversity when needed. So, I mean, that's our mentality. That's my mentality for sure, and we're ready for this challenge this week.
Definitely. I just feel like that's a mentality you have to have in the NFL. So what, now what? I would say it means to me just say I made a great play. So what? Who cares? We're gonna make another one. And I would say that's the mentality we have. We won a game last week. So what? Win another one. And that's how we're going to try to attack each and every week. So what? Now what?
Love it. Players.
You know, I'd love to see. I would love to see during contract time Trent Baalke go, so what, now what? That's so what, now what, now, fellas?
I don't think that's a very good idea.
Can rebound on you.
I don't think that would be echoed the same sentiment.
Yeah. But it just goes to the point that we made in the last block, which was this is a football team, young as they are, right? They're the third youngest team in football. They understand that they haven't really done anything yet. You beat the Colts at home, and I've said I don't think the Colts are that good, based on what I've seen. You're going to play a Chargers team who I think is great, right? And then you get an Eagles team that's playing really well right now. Next couple of weeks will give you the opportunity to say, that's what.
All right, so now we've watched Christian Kirk's success over the past 2 weeks, playing great, and looks like he's worth every penny of that free agency contract. But what goes unnoticed at times is the play of Zay Jones and how that is helping Christian Kirk have success. And Zay Jones says at times you have to be a selfless receiver.
Sometimes it can be difficult. You know, all of us receivers, we want football, we want our moments. But I think if you can understand the long game and you can stay in it and understand the schematic of what we're trying to do, and that it's an entire team effort for a duration of 17 weeks, just giving all you have and opening up one of your teammates, they'll do that in return for you. So just doing the best I can to, whether if it's to clear out somebody or if it's to take a top off of coverage or, you know, whatever it is, I'm willing to do that for him. As vice versa, I know Christian's willing to do that for me.
And Zay, he really thought about this answer when we talked about this. And I could tell, you know, it is difficult for him at this point because Zay Jones was the storyline of training camp. We talked about Christian Kirk in preseason training camp. We didn't see a lot of him, which kind of had us really talking about Zay Jones. He's making impactful plays, but Christian Kirk has dominated the conversation the past 2 weeks. Yes, you're selfless, but I can also imagine it's a little difficult at times too.
I think if Zay was a rookie, this would really bother him. He's been around the league long enough to know he's an intelligent guy. His time is going to come, and when it comes, it's going to come to the tune of 25-yard plays. It's been a little surprising, frankly, Brian, that Christian Kirk has been this good. I think teams have entered the first 2 games figuring, okay, we're going to do this to take it away, and I think that hasn't worked. And now you're getting to the point where I'm not sure teams in the first couple of games thought we've got to give 2 guys over here. We have to lean the defense. It's been more we have to have the guy who's covering them really concentrate on it and be aware. He's the key to the Jaguars' offense right now. Teams are going to have to figure out how to scheme that in the middle. Yeah. It's going to open up Zay Jones at some point, and when it does, it's going to be big-time plays.
Well, in that 26-yard play, Zay Jones made it happen because he ran down the field and created the space. Here's what I've been impressed with, John. You hear all the time about when you get new players together, like a quarterback and a wide receiver. Yeah, we're working on the relationship. We're out playing golf, which was the story with Christian and with Trevor. Well, you can see it. I mean, I think it's uncanny already with just 2 games. The communication, the unspoken communication that those 2 have. I mean, you've seen better unspoken communication than I have. I mean, I saw it with Jimmy and with Mark, right? You saw it with Reggie and Marvin and Peyton. But already in just 2 games, you can see it from those guys. It's a really good sign.
And Christian deserves a lot of credit for that. I'm not saying Trevor doesn't, but a lot of that is the receiver understanding what the quarterback wants quickly. Christian Kirk, a veteran guy, a very highly intelligent player, and able to adapt in the middle of plays very quickly because he really knows the playbook and he understands the scheme of the offense.
And by the way, if we haven't said it enough, it's because he'll give credit to the fact that he was with Larry Fitzgerald and
those other guys.
DeAndre Hopkins. I was thinking David Boston because I just wrote a story about the 2003 team. And A.J. Green, right? He was with 3 Hall of Fame caliber guys in Arizona. They taught him well.
And we talk about that relationship of Christian and Trevor. If you go back and watch Sounds of the Game, which is up on Jaguars.com now, you see on the sidelines when Trevor throws that short pass to Christian Kirk, they come back on the sidelines and Christian's like, dude, were you ever going to throw it to me? And it's just this calmness after a huge monumental play that he's just like casually like, were you just going to run it in? Like at this point, just run it in. It's just
great relationship.
Yeah, great relationship. And that is Around the Locker Room. When we come back on Jaguars Drive Time, some he will, he won't, he might.
You can step up to luxury now.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. Whatever you're driving, you can step up to luxury now. Plus, get our Fields amenities, which include complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes.
Make this your year to step up to luxury at Fields Cadillac, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, Land Rover, Jaguar, and Lexus. When it comes to the ultimate car buying experience, there's only one name that matters: Fields. And Fields matters because you matter. The Fields Auto Group, proud partners of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Crown Royal's That Deserves a Crown program recognizes local heroes for making a positive impact in the community. The Jaguars and Crown Royal are giving back to those who serve this season, celebrating these individuals with the ultimate VIP Jaguars home game experience. Nominate someone who deserves a crown today at jaguars.com/Crown Royal promotion. Please drink responsibly.
Jags fans, Shaquille Griffin of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know you love when we put the QB in his place with a big interception, and now Luray Boyd Peanut Company is making every pick a winning play with the Peanut Pickoff. Every time the Jaguars make a pick, Luray Peanuts is going to donate to youth football initiatives throughout the Southeast, and the Jaguars Foundation will match every dollar. We get one play closer to victory, and our kids get to train for a brighter future. Everyone wins, except for the other team's QB. But hey, that's his problem.
Sudeth is Jacksonville's trusted and reliable moving company. Sudeth is proud to be the official moving company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. To get a stress-free quote, call 904-638-7536. We're back, Jaguars Drive Time on Thursday, getting ready for a Sunday game against the Los Angeles Chargers, and it is time for he will, he won't, he might for that game. Brian, what do you got?
I'm going with the head coach, Doug Peterson, and he will have his team ready to play on Sunday. They will not go out there and lay an egg like so many Jaguars teams have when playing the Chargers in particular, or Seattle, going out and just not being ready to go. I love the, so what, now what, the way the players have embraced it. I love what I heard from the guys in the locker room yesterday, right? They know what they're up against. They're not living in the past on this deal. Doug, by the way, won't worry about what's happened in the past. I find it interesting, he gets all kinds of questions about young team. Does Trevor trust everything that's going on around him with all the newness? They haven't won on the West Coast, and they haven't won away from home. And Doug, he didn't want to hear that. It doesn't matter to him. It has no impact on this team. And he won't let it bother him. He hasn't, and he won't let his team spend a moment thinking about excuses or reasons why they can't go out there and be ready to go on Sunday. And he might be smiling on the plane ride home on Sunday. Now, maybe that's because the Chargers aren't healthy and they get a chance to go out there and steal one. Or maybe just smiling because he knows, even if they don't win, and it would be on the inside, by the way, that they're making progress and they're getting better, and he's got them in the right direction, that they're believing in his philosophy, doing things the way he wants to, and then it's just a matter of time before they start to put some together.
Mm-hmm. It's that long-term look of the season, right? And I go back to week 1 in post-Washington Commanders, in the locker room, especially the players, man, really down, really frustrated just for a moment. And I don't want to say Coach Peterson was smiling, but he was incredibly calm. He was incredibly just like, hey, fellas, it's okay. It's week 1. And I was upset. I think everyone was upset because you felt like you could win that game. And he was the calmest guy in the locker room.
His team is modeling him, which is a sure sign they believe in him.
Mm-hmm. All right, John, what do you got?
My he will, he won't, he might is Devin Lloyd. And he's an important matchup this week. He will be very important because of the presence of Austin Eckler.
Yes.
We all talk about Justin Herbert and the receivers, and Austin Eckler, the running back, he's a different guy than Jonathan Taylor, but he's very difficult to defend on the outside of the defense. He's very quick, which is he won't, Devin Lloyd, he won't shut Eckler down because you don't do that.
Yeah, no one does.
But back to he will. I'm all over the place. He will, he won't, he will. So this is really he will, he won't, he will, he might.
Change it when you need to.
He will make big plays against Eckler and give them a chance to disrupt that offense. What I mean by that is if Eckler gets 8 yards on first down, Devin Lloyd with the Jaguars is a guy they haven't had probably since Telvin, who can turn 2nd and 2 into 3rd and 8 with a 6-yard loss and do it routinely. And he might – I'm going to go interception here because the guy's ball skills are off the charts good. At some point this season, Devin Lloyd is going to make a play. I know he had an interception last week, but it was a tip ball, and even he said it was a tip and great play, but I think it was Foley Fatukasi. He's going to make a play like he almost did in the end zone to turn a game around. I don't know if it'll be against Justin Herbert, but it might be down near the goal line.
Yeah.
Big six. No, yeah. So something like that he is going to do at some point this season. He's going to be special.
It's a great call because Eckler is a really elusive, shifty runner. And you can just see that Lloyd is getting better week to week, more and more comfortable.
Right, you don't shut guys like that down. But what Devin Lloyd is in the modern NFL, big play defense at key times, he can be that sort of guy.
Break serve.
Yeah, and fast like Telvin, but bigger than Telvin too. Just a bigger body, takes up more space.
240 pounds.
Yeah, for sure. All right, my he will, he won't, he might is Andre Sixco. He will continue to emphasize the need for turnovers. This entire secondary will. He's coming off a game where he had an interception. The Jaguars tied for first right now in the league with interceptions at 5, and Sixco has one of them. They'll need to keep that going on Sunday. You're going to have to get some extra positions on offense to beat this Chargers team, and it's no question that the secondary is emphasizing the need to keep the speed going on how many turnovers they're getting on defense. He won't be overlooked this week. Might be the toughest matchup of his career so far. I know he is a young player, but I think this is the toughest going against Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. He spoke about it on Monday. Preparation will be key for Andre Sixco this week because he is going to get a lot of targets with these two receivers. He might be the key to the game, and I think you can make an argument there's a lot of keys to this game, but if this secondary doesn't play well, this can get ugly. I think Andre Cisco might be the key to this Jaguars defense this week.
Well, they were really happy with the way the safeties played. Rayshawn Jenkins had 4 passes defensed in addition to the interception, especially the one in the end zone there.
Yep.
And Cisco at Syracuse was a turnover guy. I mean, he had 13 takeaways in his 2 full seasons while he played there. So to see him finally get that one, maybe that's, breaking the glass ceiling and giving him a chance to rise. But it's good to go out to the West Coast to play a strong passing attack like this one, feeling good about your secondary.
Very much so.
And they do. They feel very good about the way that the safeties played.
Mm-hmm.
Well, think about what we're talking about here. There's been, through 2 games, both safeties have a pick and your corner has a pick. Every time we talk about players right now, what just struck me was looking at Cisco and looking at Devin Lloyd, guys who maybe have a combined, 5 NFL games under their belt. They're going to have growing pains this year. But all these young guys that we're talking about, and I know it's kind of off topic, but every guy we talk about is young. I expect growing pains on Sunday. I expect Herbert to get him a couple of times, and I don't expect this team to win. But these young players, there's so much potential and there's so much productivity that has already happened. They are going to grow. And he will, he won't, he might. I think he's going to have a lot of fun with this team by the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. And that is he will, he won't, he might when we come back. Monday's headlines today on Jaguars Drive Time.
You can step up to luxury now.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. Whatever you're driving, you can step up to luxury now. Plus, get our Fields amenities, which include complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes.
Make this your year to step up to luxury at Fields Cadillac, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, Land Rover, Jaguar, and Lexus. When it comes to the ultimate car buying experience, there's only one name that matters: Fields. And Fields matters because you matter. The Fields Auto Group, proud partners of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
At VyStar Credit Union, you inspire them to go the extra mile to meet your financial needs. That's why they offer Jaguars fans more banking options like better rates and no hidden fees. Their team is also dedicated to making the communities they serve stronger, volunteering their time and talents while donating millions to local nonprofits. VyStar Credit Union, VyStarCU.org. Go Jags!
Hey Jags fans, Brian Sexton for Dreamfinders Homes. In a complex housing market, do decisions on the biggest purchase of your life stress you out? At Dreamfinders Homes, they can build the home of your dreams in one of their many communities in Northeast Florida. With a mortgage company in-house, they're here to assist you throughout the entire process. Choose from their wide range of single-family homes or townhomes from the 300,000s. Dreamfinders Homes specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. Call 904-590-2545 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Time for Monday's headlines today. Now, we won't have a Monday show because we are landing at 2 a.m. and Shlyn needs her beauty sleep. We will have a Wednesday show.
Yes,
but we're still going to predict what we're talking about on Monday, just chit-chatting. So, Brian, what are Monday's headlines today?
Monday's headline is going to be left it all on the coast. I'm like John. It's hard to take a young team like this, one that has lost the last 18 times they've played away from home, and say they're going to go win. But I think they're going to go play well. And I think that people are going to be energized by what they see on Sunday, and they're not going to be down about it. They're going to feel good about it. So you've heard the old saying, they left it all on the field, right? They left it all on the coast.
Well, fans aren't going to feel good about it. They're going to be ticked because they want to win every game.
Well, I think there's a group of fans that will see it and go, okay. I think people are...
Well, they don't write me.
No, I do know that. That's true, John.
My headline is, and it's going to be said just like that. It's going to be, because I think, like Brian said, I think a lot of fans are going to look at this game, and then once it's over, after a day or two, they're going to look back and see a lot of things where they could have won. I think it might be a game where the Jaguars are sitting in the locker room talking about, you know what, we could have had it if A, B, and C. I think maybe a mistake or two, a big play. I anticipate Justin Herbert, I've been talking about it all week, he can make plays to beat you even if you're in the right position.
100%.
And it's a very detailed, you could see a cornerback barely missing a ball that he could have gotten and a touchdown and thinking, man, if it had just been, it's that close. Mm-hmm. but with these good teams with high-powered offenses these days, we've all seen the games when the Chargers and Bills, they haven't played in a while, but Chargers and Chiefs or Bills and Chiefs, it's one play. Jaguars, I don't think are there yet, but I think fans are going to see a time when they could be there after this game.
And mine is close, but make it 19. I think the Jaguars, like we all said, will be competitive. And that's, I mean, let's be frank, last year's team, this wouldn't be a close game. And we would go into that knowing that. I think they'll be competitive. I think this game will be relevant at the start of the fourth quarter. A year ago, that's all we could have asked for.
Yeah.
Close, but make it 19, but you feel progress as you move forward.
I think a lot of people are going to be smiling, again, maybe a little later in the week, but they're like the Washington loss, they're going to see a team that's not the same old Jaguars.
Absolutely. And that is Jaguars Drive Time on a Thursday morning. We will be back with you next Wednesday, like we said. No Monday morning show, but stay with us on Jaguars.com all weekend long for your game coverage.